So my name is Kwaku Boadu, and I have a task to go through the CLE, also give an update on our IT projects. Okay, but before I start, my first assignment is to close the polling has closed at 2 o'clock. The network service is a bit problematic, so I've had some people complain to me that no matter how hard they try. But then the other thing too is because they try multiple times, it then keeps you and suspects that you are trying to cheat. So then it tells you are ineligible to vote. Or so a text message was sent around to tell you that if that happens, all you needed to do was just log out completely and come back. So yes, we've had some network challenges according to the messages that I've received. But nonetheless, it was scheduled to close at 2 o'clock, and the computers shut down at 2 o'clock. So the results. Excuse me. So can somebody call out the results for us?
Thank you. Vote results for lawyers' opinion poll. Manual vote results yet to be added. 1. Would you support GBA acquiring its own means of transport? No, 219. Yes, 339. 2. Should GBA embark on the capital projects of ICT, National Secretariat Extension, and regional bar centers? Yes, 482. No, 76. 3. Should the positions of president and secretary be full-time? No, 428. Yes, 130.
The only thing I'd like to say is I'd like to make some general comments. That this very software is what we use for voting. And the software, okay. Now, this is what the EC sees when we are voting. The EC mans this screen at the end of the result, and you can see that logged in here, you have every election that we have ever held since this software was introduced. All the results are available, and every detail of the elections are available, including your vote and how you voted. The only thing is it locks your identity. Your OTP is known by only yourself and God. So the results are downloaded for the presidential elections in Bulgaria, for instance. It was a 400-page document when printed. But it sits here and it sits there always. Downloaded, given to the EC. If anybody has any challenge and you are prepared to disclose your OTP, your result, how you voted can be disclosed. So the package can be given to you, go through it, find your OTP, and confirm whether this is how indeed you voted. And this is permanent record, forever available. It is with the EC, deposited with the EC. And one thing I wouldn't want to disclose, if anybody tries to cheat, it locks it. So at the Greater Accra election, one person tried to cheat, it keeps track. So I wouldn't want to click on that because it reveals your name, your bar number, your telephone number. And that information was also passed on to the EC that this person was trying to cheat.
Conclude that someone was trying to cheat, because what happened to me was I tried to log in and I couldn't. So then I keep going back to the email to see if I can vote. Would that automatically be called cheating?
When that happens, it suspects you are trying to cheat. It doesn't conclude you are cheating. So it tells you you are ineligible to vote. All you need to do is log out and come back. And if you are a genuine voter, it allows you. But cheating is defined differently. When somebody tries to vote twice at the same time with the same bar number, that's what's called cheating. So that's clearly an intentional thing. Shall we proceed, please? Okay, so we will now go to CLE. The software, I'm going to go very quickly through this presentation because we are going to do a practical login, and then leadership has also told me that we're going to have an hour session sometime in the near future and take lawyers slowly through it. So pardon me if you see me running through it. So we've called it Moose. It's similar to Zoom, but it is not Zoom. So Zoom has been spelled in the reverse. However, it notifies that multi-horn. Okay, that tells you the multiple things that it does. Okay. And we have developed this software using some 2 foreign companies and some local counterparts. And then we have a backup depending on the numbers that we are dealing with. If the numbers are huge, we are preparing for huge numbers. If the numbers are huge, of course, the amount of money we have to pay to the disk providers goes up. So if the numbers are small, we switch to a backup to minimize the amount of money that we have to pay. So that's the reason why we have 2. Now, when you log on, there's a login, there's a register. We'll go through that. Okay, we'll go through this. The key thing is every lawyer has to register for CLE. It's completely different from our current portal. And the feature we are invoking is that during CLEs, you will be monitored. How long you have stayed attending the CLE. Because we want to know whether you attended the CLE and for how long you attended the CLE. So we need your bar number, and that is the only unique identifier. So when you are logging in, your identity will be bar number at ghanabar.org. That's simple. So when you log in, it asks you what's your username. You just put in your bar number 1111 at ghanabar.org. And then your password. So you select your own password. And then it will ask you for your telephone number. You put in your telephone number. Confirm the password, and that'll be it. You will have then registered for the CLE. Now, anytime you are attending CLE, when you move out, because it will take you out of here into the video session. So when you are when you are being handed over to the CLE, to the video session, the video software will ask you what's your identity. You then put in 1111 at ghanabar.org. Remember, you'll be monitored. So if you don't want to be monitored, then put in 0000 at ghanabar.org, XX, anything you want. That way, you can then attend the CLE anonymously. So we do not deny you your right to be anonymous. But only remember that when GBA is compiling the records to send to GLC, your attendance will be missing. But it's not compulsory that you must be identified. So you log in. And then in the left top corner, you see what we call the hamburger menu. See those 3 hamburger signs. That's a general thing. Whenever you are using your phone or your computer and you get stuck, you get confused, look for the hamburger. Just click on it. It will drop a menu. That's a general advice. So you log in to Moose. Once you've logged in properly, it will show this screen. And once the screen comes, you have the CLE. When you click on the CLE, it will drop 2 items, attend CLE and then CLE record. So if you want to attend CLE, you click on that and it then shows the CLEs that are available for you to attend. Once you've attended CLEs, it's able to generate certificates for you. Even though the records will be kept, a certificate is generated which you can keep. It's the GBA wouldn't need it to show your attendance. However, that's evidence in the event of dispute over your hours, you can always produce a certificate. Then, if you click on the dashboard, it reveals the CLEs that you have done, the courses that you have completed. It tells you the number of courses that are available that you may attend. If you click on profile, it allows you to change your password. If you click on donate, there's a concept that maybe if you donate to Legal Aid Board, maybe it may be converted to CLE hours. The software has made provision for it. As to whether we can use it or not, it's up to us. So that's the use for the donate. Okay. So I'm done with this. What now? Fetch your phone or your laptop if you have it, and then go to Moose MOOSEGH.net. Yeah. Yes, there is. What's the name of the Wi-Fi here? GBA. Okay, so look for GBA Wi-Fi. Is there a password? No password. Moose, MOOSEGH.net. And can somebody also be doing it from the office so we'll see? Is that it? It's open. Moose GH, MOOSEGH, mooseghana.net. Okay, so click register. So your bar number at ghanabar.org. Oh, okay. Okay. So let me start. So register. Once you are new, you have to register. So you go to moosegh.net. moosegh.net. It brings you to the registration screen. You click on register. Then it brings you to this screen. So in this screen, you type your bar number and then follow it with an @ sign and follow it with ghanabar.org. So your bar number 11111 at ghanabar.org. I'm sorry. I apologize. So Moose, please go to moosegh.net. Moose, MOOSEGH.net. Please, if you need assistance, put up your hand and the technical guys will come and assist. Some are having challenges with the network. Yeah. Can we have some assistance, please? Moose GH. Now, when you type in your bar number, it tells you your name. When you put in your bar number, it consoles the good standing database, pulls your name, and then tells you your name. Because there's a disclaimer at the end that if you that you should not provide false information. So, I mean, and we've had experiences when people have registered using other people's bar numbers. And if somebody registers using your bar number, you are logged out. Then you will have to contact the bar center. We've seen examples of that. Now, those who have gone all the way to, so you put in your bar number at ghanabar.org, disclose your name to you, was correct. You are then asked for your telephone number. Okay, now notice that this time we've had terrible problems with telephone numbers. So this time we are a little bit restrictive. So your country code has been provided. If your country code is not Ghana, go and select which country code you are using, and then put in your telephone number without the country code. And whilst you are typing it, it will be composing the telephone number down there, so you check and see if it is correct. And once it is correct, you go and put in your password, confirm it, and you are registered. Yes, so we are registering now. If you cannot register now, you can register, but you are there. Okay, so if you are there, click on the hamburger. The hamburger menu on the top left corner. Okay. The drop-down menu. Well, we don't call that drop-down, actually. You are? Okay, thank you. So, so those who joined us, go to moosegh.net. And once you are on moosegh.net, you put in your bar number at ghanabar.org. Is Susan there? So Susan is registering as bar number 1. So you can. So now that you've registered, you can now go in and log in anytime. Okay. So again, remember your login ID is bar number at ghanabar.org. So whenever you go back, you put that information in there, put your password, click login. Susan, can you log in, please? So this can be done at any time. And like I said, we are going to do this again. We are going to spend a whole hour doing this and doing it very slowly. Okay, so Susan has logged in. Click on the menu bar. So once you are on the menu, so this is what I was showing you. Click on CLE. Okay, so I want to attend CLE. Click on attend CLE. Okay, so it now displays all the CLEs available for you to choose which one you want to attend. And we have 7 CLEs. We are configuring the system to run 7 simultaneous CLEs. Not because the system can run only 7 CLEs. We can run 1,000 CLEs. But we are restricted by how much money we have to spend. For each CLE, one room at the bar center has to be dedicated for it. So currently we are using the conference room, the president's office, the secretary's office, the committee rooms. So we are installing devices in each of these places. and it will run one of the 7 CLEs. If we are ready to have 10 places, so once you select which CLE you want to attend, so it tells you the course code. So this is dummy data. So GLC 101. It tells you the title of the course, Administrative Law. It tells you the credit. If you attend this CLE, how many points will you get? Then it tells you, it gives you the link to click on, tells you the time and the date. And then it tells you how many people will be admitted into this room. So the first one says, I can admit 10,000. The second one says 1,000. 1,000. This course says 500. Now, as soon as you click it, it will display that you are number so and so over the total. So when the class is full, you will know that you are unable to enter this class. You can enter a class and then come back and say, no, I changed my mind. So you come back and you say, unjoin. So it will take you out of that class and remove the credit that was granted to you. Right now, we've configured in such a way that you can attend multiple CLEs at the same time, but we can also restrict it. So you can attend only one. It depends on what leadership says we should do. So when you click it, if you click it, there are no CLEs running. So we have intentionally loaded some URLs there like CNN, BBC, but it tells you the flexibility that we can take you anywhere that the CLE Institute decides to take you. So if it's a recorded video, if this is a CLE happening in the Volta region and you are sitting in Tamale, you can attend it. You can attend the CLE in the night, in the middle of the night. Okay, this is a time I can afford it. You then go there and you go through, you say, this CLE was organized by the Western Region Bar. I'm interested in it. You attend it and you are then granted the credit. When you click it, it will then display, take you to the video, and before going, it will ask you, give me your ID. Always remember, bar number at ghanabar.org. If you don't give the correct ID, you will be attending anonymously. If you use somebody else's bar number, guess what? Yes. Okay, so this is the end of my presentation on the CLE, and let me say that we will do this again. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And I want to inform members that, under LI 2423, now you have to do a certain number of CLE hours before your practicing certificate is renewed. The GLC has authorized the Ghana Bar Association to organize these CLE sessions on its behalf, like just as we process the practicing certificate on the GLC. So we are yet to meet the GLC to conclude on the final details, like the number of hours, CLE hours that we have to do in the course of the year. So we'll be informing you accordingly. Now, the next item is the cost of running the GBA. And as I said in my conference speech, I said that now ICT is in our DNA, it's part of our culture now, but it's come at an attendant cost. So I would invite Mr. Kwaku Boadu back up to come and give us a presentation on the cost of sustaining the ICT reforms started by my predecessor.
So this is a presentation I gave to NEC, and then I gave this presentation to council also, and I'd like to give a summary of it to this house. Okay, so this is my assignment number 3. An update on the GBA IT projects. Can I have the slide up? Okay, thank you. Okay. So, I have a lot of pictures here. So we saw a beautiful room, excellent conference, everything running. And one thing that we don't see is this. Now the GBA has become something else. So you have lawyers meeting, and hidden in the background are these pictures, these men and women, and these things going on. This picture is dark, but I like this picture. It was taken in Bolga, where it was elections, and the representatives of the candidates were all upright and gazing into a screen. This is what the GBA has become. To monitor the elections, you don't take your eye off the screen 1 second. It is no longer pen and paper. Mr. President, if you permit me, just 30 seconds, I would like to show the people behind, if you permit me. So, just to acknowledge so that they are not always hidden, the technical team, please line up at the back. They should come. Well, I thought I didn't want to take our time. Where's Ebo? Come, I'm told you should come. Where's Ebo? So there are three teams that we use. There are three teams that we use now. There's Integris, there's Arrow Network. Integris, all the software you are seeing, Integris did about 70% of it. And then Arrow Network has come in. They handle the hardware portions, all the wires, the screens. And then there's a third company we did not bring to Ho because they run the elections. So in Bolga, we had all the three companies. But here we have the two because we didn't really need them. So well done, guys. Okay, so this is Yaya Jacobo on the screen, and this is what it takes to project her. Okay, so let me start. So there's what I call, and I believe all of us call, the 24/7 reforms in 2018. There were 23 projects. I'm not going to go through them. I did that in Takoradi. But we've gone through what I call the stage one of the projects, and the key impacts of the stage one, as we know, we've digitized all lawyer records from 1877, bar number 1, to this minute. And anytime a lawyer is called, the records are updated immediately. It takes less than 10 minutes to renew your license. Chamber's license, it's because there are a lot of, you still have to show there should be inspection, but then it's so automated that Mr. Beecham sits behind his desk and reviews the documents and approved, rejected. He works with the committee because he's the head of the committee. That's why I mentioned his name. But I know somebody who says it took him less than 5 minutes to get his sources license. And it's for all licenses. We have online shopping and lawyer ID cards. We have public access to good standing database. We're told, junior lawyers said that it is only certain name that get projected. It's Tony Forson that we hear the name. So there's a database of good standing lawyers called the Lawyer Locator. Anybody in this world wants a lawyer in Ghana, goes to that database and says, I need a lawyer, and select. Do you want a female lawyer? Click female. Do you want a lawyer who is older than 5 years? Click that. Do you want a lawyer who deals with matrimonial matters? Click that. Search, and it gives you the list of all lawyers. If the person ends up hiring Tony Forson, it's not because your data was not available. Your name and Tony Forson's name, and then Susan, how long? Every 3 minutes, it reshuffles the list. So that in case Tony Forson's name was on top, it is reshuffled every 3 minutes. I'll do that. Okay. So there's public access to Lawyer Locator, electronic voting by members from any location in the world. Wherever you are in the world, you can vote. You can take part in GBA elections, so long as you are qualified to vote. And then information dissemination via bulk email and SMS. On the press of a button, we can send emails to everybody, send SMS. And then, look here. When the 24 reforms were undertaken, look what happened to our revenues. 70% because of the excellent improvement in recovery. I don't think I heard a cloud that's loud enough. So we made 70% more money only because we did this. Dues were not increased. Okay. But notice one thing. The next year, the increase was 6%, and then you see it's plateaued. So whatever we can suck out of the fruit, we've sucked out of the fruit. Out of the 23 projects, there are some 3 projects that have been abandoned. The Council for Law Reporting Interface, Legal Aid Scheme Interface, and the online law reports. Online law reports because the new leadership has a different vision from the perceived, the one that we designed. So going forward, the stage 1 projects aimed at modernizing the bar and improving the management, how we manage the affairs of the bar. Now that we have, by the grace of God, succeeded to a large extent, we now need to move to stage 2, which is what I call the stabilization, and then add more features. Now, IT, as the president was saying, is becoming a culture. That everything we do, anything we want to do, the first thing to look at is, can we do it in IT before we consider a second option? And for that matter, whenever there is any function and you are asked to register, please do register. We have challenges, especially from those who are exempted. Because you are exempted, you don't register. So, whatever, please register, because now nobody is going to sit down and compile names manually. The computers are just handling it. So if you are not there, you are missed. And I'm told that in the brochure some names are missing, and this is exactly what happened. And then one challenge we have had is 16% of our database of phone numbers are incorrect. Either inadvertently, or if we see 024000000, then we know that this was done intentionally. Now, it breaks the communication between the computer and yourself. Nobody is supervising it. So, yes, if you want to use a string of zeros, only remember that you are not getting your OTPs, you are not getting text messages. And this is the reason why we are taking the phone numbers again in the CLE. And this time, restricting you in how you do it. So, having restricted you, if you still end up putting in the wrong number, then we know that you don't want to. But with this new wave, with IT becoming our culture, I want to drum this, that let us please take care of this. So we want to look at the resilience in stage 2, the resilience of our applications. We want to look at the sustainability, make sure that they are sustainable. And then in stage 2, we are also going into CLE implementation. And then we are doing mobile phone migration, so the applications will work better on your mobile phone. Currently, you use your mobile phone and log onto a website. We want to see how we can improve that, because most of the computers are now mobile phones. So we're going to do some more work there and see how we can make it better. We also want to do more information sharing on the mobile phones. And then there's the e-judgment, which is an issue before council, which is we are supposed to develop in collaboration with judicial service, a software which will make every judge throughout the country upload his or her decisions. And then it's available to everybody. This was a request, but we are on our own tacking on another need of ours. If a court can upload its decisions, then the court should upload its calendar also. And if a judge cannot sit, let the judge just go onto that screen and put it there. So I go onto that page, check it before I set off from office. Okay. Now, we cannot send you a direct message that this judge is not sitting because we are working within some confines. We do not have the permission to do that. There's an e-justice project, and we cannot stray into that. And it's a specific request also between GBA and the judicial service. At the proper time, we will be able to then bring in the GBA database. So, and as soon as we know that you are a party in this case, we then go into the GBA database, pick your phone number, and send you a message and tell you that Judge so-and-so says she's not sitting today. So don't bother coming to court. It requires about 2 years of work, requires a budget. That's a nice way of saying that. Now, revenue. How do we fund these projects? Because it's going to require a lot of money. Okay. Let me start from the bottom. Dues. I put it at the bottom because it is intentionally put it at the bottom because it is not my favorite. Okay. You notice that we raised 70% money. But it will be difficult to raise dues by 70%. So no matter how much, even if we decide to raise dues, I doubt if we can raise dues by 70%. So we need to look at other sources of money, of revenue. Sale of advertising spots on portal and website is something that we have to seriously look at. And this is where I want to talk about lawyer locator again, with permission from Mr. Forson. So whenever you see somebody says, can you give me the phone number of so and so on the WhatsApp platform? Okay. Now, if you go onto the lawyer locator, you will have the information. Now, if you go onto the lawyer locator from the public side, that is, if you go to the GBA website, it will disclose tell you which lawyer you want, but it will not disclose the lawyer's contact. But it will give you a window where you can put in a message and say, lawyer, please contact me. I want to engage you. Then, if the lawyer so chooses, the lawyer will then respond and give you his or her email address and phone number if he or she wants. And if the lawyer decides not to respond, then no contact has been created. However, if you are a lawyer in good standing and you log on, it will detect that, this is a lawyer. So as soon as you show interest in another lawyer, it displays more information. It tells you the lawyer's phone number, the chambers, other details. Now, there are a lot more data there, but each lawyer decides which data I want displayed about me to my colleague lawyers, and which data I want displayed about me to the public. So this is configurable by you on your portal. You go there, you just go and click. Yes, I want them to see my phone number. I don't want them to see my email. Even if you're a lawyer, I don't want you to see my phone number. It's in your hands. But mostly, the phone numbers are available. Now, why am I saying this? See, the reason WhatsApp is free, Facebook is free, it's not because they love you. Now, as you use it, they are logging your usage. And then they turn around and go to advertisers and say, you see how many people came to my website today? Now, what do you have selling? Pay me so much. So this is how GBA can make money. By we using our own website and using our own lawyer locator. And as you use it, we are logging your data. And then we go to VW and say, you see how many lawyers visit me? Won't you want to advertise here? And this way, we will then be able to generate revenue through adverts on our portals. We can also commercialize our IT products. That's a tricky one. But if we want to commercialize our IT products, we have an IT product. There's another institution which is not as sophisticated as us. We can go to them and say, look here, look what the GBA has produced. We own it. We can run a service for you. Pay us so much. But obviously, that's a lot of work for counsel and NEC, because it means you are setting up a whole new company, okay, with all the modalities. And then we can also look at direct payment for IT services. The CLE, for instance, is Google sent us a bill for $360 a year per person. There's a way that we can cut down that cost by 90%. So we are seriously looking at it. But what it means is that to use a CLE, the resources that you are going to use, somebody has to pay for it. And we will have to decide how we are going to pay for it. Is the GBA going to pay for it? Are we going to ask lawyers to pay directly for those services? So I'm done.